As we have mentioned before, exhaustive testing is impossible. That means we cannot test everything. So we have to be very selective on how to test the software. So how to design the perfect test case is where the test design techniques come into action. The purpose of a test design technique is to identify test conditions, test cases, and test data. But why there are many techniques to design a test case, you may ask? Well, each test technique tackles a different situation. Some are general, others are very specific. Some are straightforward, others are difficult and complex to implement. There are many excellent books published every year on software testing techniques because there are new techniques pop up every year. All these are to help the tester do his job effectively and efficiently. Effective testing means that we find more faults, focus attention on specific types of fault if needed. In some situations, you might need to concentrate on calculations faults. Other situations, you might need to concentrate on UI issues and so on. In addition, to make sure that you are testing the right thing. Efficient testing, on the other hand, means that we find faults with the minimum effort and with the minimum number of test cases, avoiding duplications to minimize cost and time, plus using techniques that are measurable. In this section, we will learn the most important famous ones. However, as a tester, I encourage you to read more and more about test design techniques. The test case design techniques we will look at are grouped into three categories. Those based on deriving test cases directly from a specification or a model of a software or system, known as specification-based or black box techniques. It's called this way because we cannot know what's inside the box, which is the software in this case. But we only know how it should behave. We might know how it should behave from other documents, requirements documentation, user manuals, technical specification, or we might have a model or another system that behaves like ours. If we have any information about how the system should behave, then we are using black box testing or specification-based testing. The second category of test design techniques is those based on deriving test cases directly from the structure of a component or system, known as structure-based or white box techniques. And it's called white box because in this situation we know what's inside the box. We know how it is constructed, but on the contrary, we might not know how it should behave. This might seem a little bit weird that you are testing something without knowing how it should behave, but in white box testing techniques, this is the way it is. We know how it is constructed, but we don't know how it should behave. In the IS2QB curriculum, we will concentrate on testing based on the code written to implement a component or a system, but other aspects of structure, such as a database structure, for example, can be tested in a similar way. Here, we will also talk about the concept of coverage we have mentioned before. Lastly, experience-based techniques, where we will look at those test design techniques based on deriving test cases from stakeholder experience of similar systems and general experience of testing. What do you mean by stakeholders? Well, stakeholders could be testers, developers, customers, subject matter experts. Anyone can be a stakeholder to the software. Before we go into each technique in each category, put in mind that you can use as many techniques as you can while testing. We will explain this more after we visit all the techniques in this curriculum. Thank you.